Hey peeps. Okay, here's where we ended with the last video. I got cut off. How rude. How rude. Here's where we ended up with the last one. Okay, this is part 2, is to find the inverse. And when we're finished with the inverse, I'm going to show you how to graph them. They're so pretty. Wait till you see. Super exciting. Hey, you know how to find the inverse of a function. You switch the x and the y, and you solve for the new y. We did inverses before with regular functions that were linear, and sometimes they were exponential. So we're going to do the same thing here. They may not be as pretty as we're used to. So find the inverse of the function. Am I getting you dizzy? All over the place. Here we go. Find the inverse of this function. So step 1. You rewrite it so that the x and the y are switched. So it looks like that. You let x be y and y be x. And by the way, put the x on the right side because we are going to use our arrows again. Okay, so then 3 is the base. Loop around to the x. Back around to the y. I drew my arrows, and when you rewrite it, it looks like this. 3 to the x equals y to the 4th. 3 to the x equals y to the 4th. Solving for y, we have to get rid of this 4. That's an exponent. So you take the 4th root of both sides, and you get y equals the 4th root of 3 to the x. When you're writing this in standard form, that looks a little bit messy. We kind of have everything in exponential form. So we're going to write it as an exponent of x over 4. X is the numerator, 4 is the denominator, if you remember how to rewrite these. So if you guys get an answer and it's in a radical, you definitely want to write it with an exponent. Okay, here's another. So let the x be y, let y be x, and put the x on the right side. Switch your x and y's. Use your arrows to rewrite it so that we can get rid of that log. 1/2 to the x equals, wait, this can't be right. There's a -2 here, you guys. Let's bring that 2 over to the other side first. Oh, that's so much better. Bring the 2 over to the other side by adding, and now you're ready to do your arrows. 1/2 to the x plus 2 equals y. Look at that. Oh my gosh, the y is all by itself, so we're good to go. Okay, that's your answer. I know it looks kind of strange, but that's it. We're going to use this later for an application piece. Yay. Sometimes when you're doing these, you'll see this natural log. That can get a little tricky, so I like to use log sub e. So the first thing I'm going to do is replace that natural log with log e. It's the same thing, but it's just going to make our lives a little bit easier. Let x be y and y be x, and put the x over on the right side. We have to move this -6 over to the other side before you try to do anything mathy with this and you try to draw your arrows. So divide by -6 on both sides. Then use your arrows. Here's where we are. Use your arrows. So I have e to the x over -6 equals y. Da, 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 da. If you like a thing, should. Here's one for you. You try that one, number 16, all for you. Pause the video. And then here's the answer. How did you do? Good job. Okay, last thing we need to cover is this graphing piece. Okay, listen, don't be scared. Every time we do these, we sort of start off with this HK deal. So let me make this a little bigger. When you're graphing, log functions. We have parent graphs like we always do. But first, let's talk about the equation. Okay, so we have this equation, y equals log b, x minus h plus k. You know, anytime you take this out of the parentheses, we're going to change the sign. Instead of having a horizontal asymptote like we did before, now we have vertical asymptotes. So write all this down. The vertical asymptote happens at x equals h. So you take this number out, that's where your vertical asymptote is going to be. The domain is going to come from the h value, and it's going to be greater than it. The range is always, always, always all real numbers. You're welcome. You're going to get that right on the quiz. You guys, to graph these, you need to pick one point because we need to know where the turn happens. So to pick that point, we're going to let x equal some number and plug it in to get y. The x number that you choose is going to be 1 to the right of the asymptote. So you're going to take this asymptote and go to the right one, and that's what we'll use for our x value. Plug it into the equation and get a y, and that's the point that the equation will go through. That tells me kind of where it veers off. If, okay, here's the parent functions. Here's what the sketch kind of looks like. Listen, if b is greater than 1, if this subscript down here, this tells me the direction, this right down here. If it's greater than 1, if it's 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 15, it's going, the equation or the graph is going to run along the asymptote, hit this point, and then curve to the right. If this b is a fraction or less than 1, or I have a negative in front of the log, either one, b is less than 0 or a negative log, it's going to run along the asymptote, hit the point, and then curve. For your parent graph, this point is 1, 0. For the other graphs, we're going to pick a point to the right of the asymptote. For the parent graphs, the asymptote is at 0. So you go 1 to the right. Asymptote is at 0. You go 1 to the right. Once you've written everything down, let's do some examples. Okay. Identify the important parts, domain, range, and the asymptote. And then we're going to have one point to know kind of where the sketch is going to go. So I'm going to go through my steps here. For number 17, so I'm going to go through the steps. Domain, x is greater than -3. That comes from the inside. This is a +3. Change the sign. That makes it a -3. The range is always, always, always all real numbers, never changes. The vertical asymptote comes from the number inside, which is here. It's the equation of the line, x equals -3. I got my highlighter and I drew my vertical asymptote. Before we did horizontal, but for logs, they're vertical. If you have a pretty pink highlighter, that would be fabulous. Okay, then we need to pick a point to see where it goes through because we don't know if it runs along and pops over this way. It could run along and all the way down here and pop over. How do you know where to start to make your turn? Here's what you do. This is at -3, so I'm going to pop over 1 to the right. So I'm going to let x be -2. You go 1 to the right of the asymptote. So I let x equal -2. I plug in the number and do the math, and I get -2, -3. Okay, the one trick is, how do you put this log 1/4 1 minus 3 in a graphing calculator? Let me get my graphing calculator. I don't think you can see this. Probably not. Maybe you can. Okay, clear, clear. Hit math. Scroll down, down, down until you get to the log base. Do you see it? It's capital A, log base, and hit enter. That's where you're going to type everything in. So it's 1/4 1 minus 3. So it's log sub 1 divided by 4, and then a 1, and then a minus 3. When I hit enter, I get -3. Okay, you try it. I'm going to do it one more time. Math. Okay, we know how to get into here. We've done this over and over. Go all the way down till you hit the capital A. Oh, there it is. And when you hit enter, you'll be able to plug any numbers that you need into here. Sweet. Okay, so you get that point, -2, -3. So you graph the point -2, -3. You have your asymptote. Because this is because this is fractiony right here, we know that it has to go down. If this was a whole number, it will go up. So it runs down along the asymptote and cuts right. Okay, last one. Now, this would also take this shape if it were a negative log in the front. If it had a negative in the front, it would also take this shape. Okay, so you guys, we have this equation right here, but listen, it's not going to give you the 10 as a subscript. When you see a log without a subscript, look, I wrote that in there. See? If it gives you a log without a subscript, I always like to have my 10 here because I need the visual. I'm a visual learner. Okay, let's go through the steps. Your domain is x is greater than 1. Don't forget to change your sign. Range is all real numbers. Vertical asymptote comes from the number inside, so it's a +1. Then we need to pick a point. So if the vertical asymptote is at 1, you want to let x equal 2 because you're going to go 1 point to the right. 1 plus 1 is 2. When you plug this into a calculator, you get -5. Because the subscript is greater than 1, you put your asymptote in there in a pretty pink. Run along the, sorry kids, run along the asymptote, hit the point, and then it cuts right. These are just general sketches. It's just a general sketch. Okay, I talked a lot today. Do a little practice, and I will see you at our class meeting. Bye.